Our reading is from The Four Purposes of Life by Dan Millman. No two individuals are exactly alike, even if they share the same life path. Even identical twins do not remain completely identical. They grow into unique personalities with their own interests. Factors including birth order, gender, family dynamics, and childhood experiences influence our choices and responses and help to shape our lives. No single tree on the planet is exactly like any other, yet we can accurately describe differences between redwoods and pines and birches. Despite our individual differences, we humans also fall into recognizable patterns or life paths, each with common issues, potentials, and challenges. You'll work through those shared issues in your own way, in your own time. And your life may look radically different from the life of someone else on the same path if one of you is working through the issues in a more positive, constructive way, while the other animates the negative or destructive aspect. There's ultimately no better or worse way to experience your life path. There's only living and learning, and it's never too late to live the life you were born to live.
And to move forward and to do amazing things, we need a direction in our life, don't we? A path, a life path, a vision. Because when we don't have those things, we're minimizing our existence here on this planet. And we ought to be living large. We ought to be living out loud, not minimizing who we are and what we're here to do. Because we minimize on all levels, on a personal level, as a community, and as a world, as a planet. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "We are all inventors, each sailing out on a voyage of discovery, guided each by a private chart, of which there is no duplicate. The world is all gates, all opportunities." Boy, that's all inclusive, huh? Finding and clarifying our life purpose and our core life intentions helps us to move through with greater focus and greater clarity each and every single day of our life. And especially in challenging times, setting clear intentions, developing and refining our purpose can make it much easier to move through life on a daily basis through those challenging times. Now, there are many ways that we can find and develop our life purpose and our intentions. One great way I know of to start really exploring is to stop for a moment and really ponder a couple key questions. First, what is the most important thing to me in my life? And secondly, what are my deepest values and beliefs? Now, as we sit with those questions and we really ponder them, it takes us back to our center. And we really start reflecting on what is important to me. We go back to the center of that spiral and connect with life, with God, with Source. One thing that I do know is this. In order for us to be the person that we want to be, we want to get clear on just what that person looks like. Have you ever said that? I want to be this person. Have you ever been 100% clear on what that might look like? It pays for us to really look at that and to explore that. How do we do that? Well, we hold that image of what we want with the intention of making it true in our lives. Because when we do that, it produces very powerful results. Now, we don't just vision, we do the work. We work toward that. We act the part. We give generously of ourselves. And as we set our intentions change us, changes the way we think. It changes the way we see the world. And when that happens, it can't help but change those around us as well. And then after that, it impacts the world. Can't help it. It just can't help it. So getting a clear picture of self is really, really important. So often as human beings, we tend to think about what we don't want. And we focus on that. And that is such a gross misuse of our powerful creative consciousness. So, the idea is to dream. Dream big. It's time to change the way we think and speak about our dreams. We want to get really clear. And manifesting our dreams, manifesting those intentions, or manifesting those dreams in our future begins by setting those intentions. I think sometimes we forget that the spiritual side of life is just as real as the physical side of life. Because it's invisible, if you will, doesn't mean it is less than. It's just as important. Millman opened this particular chapter in his book with a great quote from Carl Jung. "The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. Each of us carries our own life plan, which cannot be superseded by any other." Kind of reiterates what Sue read about, that we are each unique, that we do indeed have individual differences. However, we share common interests and issues. We share common potentials and challenges. We work through those issues, of course, in our own unique way and in our own time. However, there's no right or wrong way to do it. We each have our own way, our own path, our own guide. The one thing that we all do the same is set intentions. And a really great definition for intention is this: to have in mind a purpose or a plan. If we lack intention, we can find ourselves straying without meaning or without direction. With intention, however, all the forces of the universe come together and align to make the seemingly impossible possible. Wouldn't it be great, and here's a wonderful place to start, if we would set our intention to transform our fear and our doubt to hope and to possibility? Our world could really use that right now, if you hadn't noticed. Right? Let's change that fear. Let's change that doubt. There's always possibility. And as we shift our intention, we want to follow up with action so we can see results. And what action means to you. Maybe it's writing a letter. Maybe it's going and helping downtown. I don't know what action is to you. Only you know that. There's plenty we can do. Some people say it's not the right time to dream. The media and the masses say it's time to be realistic. Well, this is what I see. Without our dreams, without intentions, all we have is our present reality. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying, don't you want more? Don't you want better? Because if we don't set our intention for that, we remain stuck. We remain stagnant right where we are and nothing changes. It's important to know where we are because from that space, we intend an appropriate strategy for getting to where we want to be. The challenge is around what reality and realistic means for us. Do we really believe that all things are possible with God? Do we really believe that, or do we say it because we want to mean it? We have the responsibility, the opportunity, and the capacity to reach that highest light that lies within each and every single one of us. And that higher truth is that your life is unfolding perfectly right now. Now, we can't necessarily predict or force where our path is going to lead. We can, however, bring a measure of grace to our journey with each step that we take. On Friday, Kimberly and I had an adventure. We went, both of us for the first time, on a hot air balloon down in Temecula. And what an adventure. It was a lot of fun. And you're saying to yourself, why in the heck is she telling this now? Well, I want to tell you why. What struck me was this. The pilot gathered us all together before we got in this wicker basket to go up in the air. But the pilot gathered us and he said to all of us, I just want you to know, I don't know where we're taking off from, and I don't know where we're going to land. And he said, the wind is going to decide all of that. Talk about trusting the flow, right? There was no prediction. There was no forcing the path. There was no telling this balloon what to do. And you know what? We all went, okay. Right? If we could trust life that much all of the time. I thought, well, heck, this guy's done it before. God willing. Right? Our path will always guide us. We cannot lose our way. Because wherever we step, the path is always beneath our feet. And what I know is that together we've already begun the process of following our guidance, of trusting in life. And we did that. One big step is by being so involved in a spiritual community here at Common Ground Corona. It's a place where we come because we know we're going to be supported by others who understand how we feel, who understand how we see the world, maybe not identically, but certainly open to what other people feel and think. We come so we can support each other, so we can be supported when we're moving through those challenging times. And I've personally experienced that. This has been the most supportive group of people through difficult, challenging times in my personal life and here at our Life in Common Ground last year. What we've created here is a community of people who want to connect with one another through loving hearts, through that open soul, where seeing and being your authentic self is the norm. Isn't that the truth? We don't get that necessarily all the time out there. We recognize that each other's path is absolutely perfect, right where they are, right what they're doing. No judgment. We are where we are. We're doing what we're doing. And our collective life purpose is to experience life in all of its many forms as fully and consciously as possible. When we do that, we're bringing that beautiful, positive change into this world because we take it with us outside of that door. We're not stingy. We don't keep it right in here. We want to share. And we always begin right here. Always. And then when we feel that good, when we feel that confidence and that awareness, we take it out in the world. And you can't help but see a change when that happens. As we unleash our divine purpose, it provides for the support in others unveiling and manifesting their divine purpose. You are helping somebody grow, expand, and become aware. And our intention and our purpose to support others on their path is a huge journey. It's a huge gift to the world. The tools that we have focus on expanding our own vision and the vision for others to live the most extraordinary life imaginable. We hold people in the energy of love so they can move through their internal judgments and beliefs and limiting behaviors, so they can expand those into their highest expression, however that looks. When we give freedom to our divine purpose, we're creating peace in the hearts of individuals, which ultimately translates to peace in the world. So what can we do with our intention to envision our future for ourselves, for our community, and for our planet? What would make the most significant difference? We can radiate light and love as we move through our life. We can walk in the world peacefully and with absolute acceptance. We can impart beauty in all of its forms and all of its manifestations. We can inspire gentle healing in ourselves as well as others and all life forms. We can strive for spiritual, emotional, and intellectual balance in our own life. And we can remember to seek the highest good always in dealing with others. For me, one of my on the top of my intention list is to experience and impart that peace that passes all understanding. To experience that boundless love and joy in experience a unwavering connection with the source of life, with God, all that is. And to remember that I'm always guided and I'm always protected, and to share that knowledge and that information with whomever wants to hear it. So let's remember to stay open to the flow and to the miracle of the moment, remembering that every moment we have is absolutely sacred. Remind yourself during the day that you can stay centered in your true essence. You can, by being willing to hear those settling whispers of spirit or those subtle whisperings of your heart. Stop frequently during the day. Feel your connection with everything. Breathe through that web of light, that web of love that surrounds us all of the time. Recognize the beauty and the divine essence, first within you and then with everybody else. If you find yourself in a rush, vow to take a breath and stop until you're ready to respond from your heart. Keep in mind that your fear is only an invitation to grow. And make it a habit when you leave a person or a situation to let your last thought be a thought of love. Anadeus Judith wrote this. Most people stay out of the kitchen not because they can't take the heat, but because they think they don't know how to cook. Most people are stopped by beliefs in their own inadequacy, thinking they don't have the tools, the experience, or the education to make a suitable offering. The new world we're creating needs everyone. Passion and dedication are important as skills. Help can be found, skills can be obtained if the passion and the dedication exist. But there are innumerable skills going to waste for lack of dedication. Amateurs built the Ark, professionals built the Titanic. We all have something to share. We all have something to give. So I invite all of you to open to an even greater transparency both in yourselves and in the world. And may you continue to play a part in building a community that we have here based in love and spiritual growth. May you powerfully co-create a new paradigm of love and cooperation on this planet. And as we do all that together, may we give thanks for everything in our lives and for all that is. Thank you so much for being here while I shared this truth as I understand it.